Pakistan's former Prime Minister Imran Khan has been arrested today after he was sentenced to 3 years in prison for illegally selling state gifts. Khan was sentenced after he was found guilty of unlawfully selling state gifts while he was Prime Minister between 2018 and 2022. The 70-year-old cricketer turned politician denies the charges and has always said the mounting cases against him are politically motivated and intended to stop him from running for election. Good evening, I'm Chitrakar and these are the headlines of the hour. At least 13 Nepali nationals feared missing in a landslide in Kedarnath, Uttarakhand state, India. Foreign Minister Saud requests Uttarakhand Chief Minister to search and rescue the Nepali nationals. Prime Minister Dahal says a committee led by the Home Secretary will be formed to hold talks with the victims of the Gaur massacre who have been protesting. Assures guilty will be punished. Police arrest Pakistan's former Prime Minister Imran Khan in Lahore after a court sentences him to 3 years in prison for illegally selling state gifts. And Spain thrashed Switzerland 5-1 to reach the FIFA Women's World Cup quarterfinals. Japan also advanced into the last 8, defeating Norway 3-1. Foreign Minister N.P. Saud has requested the Indian side to search and rescue the Nepali nationals that went missing in a landslide triggered by incessant rainfall in India's Uttarakhand state. Foreign Minister Saud held a telephone conversation with Uttarakhand State's Chief Minister Pushkar Singh and requested him to help in the search and rescue of the missing 13 Nepali nationals. 13 Nepali and 6 Indian nationals had gone missing in a landslide triggered by incessant rainfall on Thursday near Gaurikunda of Rudraprayag in India's Uttarakhand state. Earlier, Foreign Minister Saud directed the Nepalese embassy in New Delhi to coordinate with the Indian side for the search and rescue of the missing Nepali nationals. 3 hotels that were being operated by Nepali nationals in Gaurikunda, which lies on the way to the religious site Kedarnath, had been swept away by the landslide. 7 members of the same family who were from Chaurigaon in Patarasi 3 of Jumla, 3 individuals from Patarasi 2 and 3 from Humla have gone missing. The ward chairperson of Patarasi 3, Govinda Raut, informed that 28-year-old Amar Bohra, his 26-year-old wife Anita, 14-year-old daughter Radhika, another daughter 8 years old Pinky, 7-year-old son Prithvi, another son of 6 years Jatil and youngest son Wakil have gone missing. According to the chairperson of the rural municipality Purna Singh Bohra, 22-year-old Chandra Nepali and 55-year-old Dhanraj Bura, who are the local residents of Patarasi 2, have also gone missing in the landslide. Meanwhile, according to Indian media, Sukharam Raut of Patarasi 2, Bir Bahadur of Humla, his wife Sumitra and daughter Nisha have gone missing in the landslide. In the meantime, the Ministry of Home Affairs has corresponded with the Ministry for Foreign Affairs, directing to coordinate for search and rescue of the missing Nepali nationals. The Home Ministry had corresponded with the Ministry of Foreign Affairs based on the information provided by a local media, Hilwani News. Prime Minister Pushpa Kamal Dahal has provided assurances of conducting investigation on the Gaur massacre and taking actions against the perpetrators. During a discussion with the representatives of Gaur Massacre Victims Struggle Committee, Premier Dahal said that the government was committed to provide justice to the victims. The families of those who had lost their lives in the Gaur massacre had been staging protests in Rohtahat since 17th of July last month, demanding justice and compensation. The victims have held discussion with the Premier today after the Office of the Prime Minister and the Council of Ministers corresponded with the committee on Thursday, urging them to withdraw their protest programs and opt for deliberation. Premier Dahal has assured the victims that a team led by Secretary of the Ministry of Home Affairs, Dinesh Bhatrai, will be formed to reach an agreement and the authority would make efforts to solve the issue. 28 individuals had died on 21st of March 2007 in a clash between former Maoist rebels and cadres of Madheshi Rights Forum in Gaur Rohtahat. However, justice has remained elusive 17 years after that incident. The families of those who had died have made efforts to draw government's attention towards the issue on several occasions. However, the authority has yet to take concrete steps to resolve the issue. Aam Janata Party, led by Prabhu Shah, have held demonstrations several times demanding justice for the victims. Meanwhile, a group of victims have accused Shah of his involvement in the massacre, saying that he is a former Maoist rebel and has been demanding to take actions against him as well. Construction of the secondary lane of the Kalanki-Basundhara road section under the Kathmandu Ring Road expansion project has been ongoing. However, the construction of the main road section has yet to begin. The expansion of the 8-kilometer road section between Kalanki and Basundhara is being done with the assistance from China. As per the agreement, China must construct major 8 lanes while Nepal has the responsibility of constructing the service lane. The Chinese side has yet to begin construction works, while authorities of the Kathmandu Ring Road Improvement Project says that construction of the service lane has already begun. Meanwhile, the design and the cost for the construction of the lane have yet to be estimated. As per the agreement, Nepal has to construct the service lane, which will be of 6 meters each in width, while the main lanes will be of 25 meters each. Preparations for the construction of the road section, including cutting down trees and removing drinking water pipes and electricity poles, have already completed. The authorities say that major dispute concerning the project in the Swayambhu area has been resolved and only few have remained to be compensated. The Koteshwar-Kalanki road section was expanded to 8 lanes under the first phase of the ring road expansion 5 years ago. 2 mountaineers who have set a world record by summiting 14 mountains that are above 8,000 meters within 92 days have been welcomed in Kathmandu. Norwegian mountaineer Kristin Harila and a Nepali mountaineer Tenjin Sherpa had been welcomed at the Tribhuvan International Airport. Sherpa had scaled the world's second highest peak in Pakistan, Mount K2, last Thursday. They were given a warm welcome by the Ministry for Foreign Affairs, Department of Tourism and a Nepal Mountaineering Association, among other entities associated to tourism and mountaineers. Both the mountaineers have returned Nepal after successfully scaling Mount Everest, Kanchenjunga, Lhotse, Makalu, Dhaulagiri, Annapurna, Manaslu, Choyo, Shishpangma, Nangma, Gasherbrum 1, Gasherbrum 2, Broad Peak and K2 mountains. The price of tomatoes have increased by 1400% per kilogram within 1.5 months. The price of tomatoes was only 8 rupees per kilogram in Kalimati when farmers had thrown 30,000 kilograms on the road on the 18th of June, citing lack of proper market. The price of tomatoes, however, has reached 150 to 200 rupees per kilogram now, which has affected consumers. Traders, meanwhile, have attributed the rise in price of tomatoes to the increase in export to India. The price of tomatoes in India currently is 300 rupees per kilogram. Kalimati Fruits and Vegetable Market Development Committee has set the prices of various types of tomatoes at 170 rupees and 115 rupees per kilogram. Retailers, meanwhile, have been setting prices of tomatoes indiscriminately while monitoring has remained feeble. Time now for our segment, Public Pulse, where you text us with your opinion.
Public Pulse.
Here's the question: why has the responsibility to investigate the gold smuggling scam been given to Nepal police? The options are A, to make investigation effective, B, to crack organized crime, and C, to save one's kith and kin. Voting is on. Type any EWS, select your option A, B or C and send it to 34001 to share your opinion with us. Time now for international update. Police arrested Pakistan's former Prime Minister Imran Khan in the eastern city of Lahore today after a court sentenced him to 3 years in prison for illegally selling state gifts. A video clip released by his party PTI showed a police motorcade carrying him from his home with sirens blaring. Khan was not visible in the video. Legal experts say the guilty verdict reached by a district court could end Khan's chances of participating in national elections that have to be held before early November later this year. Khan's arrest and detention for several days in May over a separate case had sparked intense political turmoil, and deadly clashes had erupted between Khan supporters and police. Relatives were mourning 3 people killed in India's Manipur state today as fresh violence erupted amid a vicious sectarian conflict that has claimed the lives of over 180 people since May. A police spokesperson said the 3 people were killed last Thursday and belonged to the majority Meitei community in the state's Bishnupur district. A spokesperson for the Kuki civil society group said it did not have an immediate comment on the latest killings. Violence erupted on 3rd of May in Manipur after a court ordered the state to consider extending to the majority Meitei population special economic benefits and quotas in government jobs and education that up to now have been reserved for the tribal Kuki people. A sea drone attack damaged a Russian tanker near the strategic bridge linking Russia to the annexed peninsula of Crimea. Russian media said the SIG vessel approaching the Kerch Strait linking the Black Sea and the Sea of Azov was hit by Ukrainian drones. Ukraine's Interfax agency, citing an unnamed Ukrainian security service source, also said Ukraine's navy was behind the attack with drones in its territorial waters. No one was hurt, but the Crimean bridge and ferry transport were suspended for several hours, according to Russian-installed officials in Crimea, which Moscow seized from Ukraine in 2014. Kyiv seldom claims responsibility for attacks inside Russia or on Russian-controlled territory in Ukraine, but has said that destroying Russia's military infrastructure boosts its counter-offensive chances in the 17-month-old war. The SIG had been supplying oil to Russian troops in Syria, according to Vladimir Rogov, a Russian-appointed official in Ukraine's southeastern region of Zaporizhzhia. The United States sanctioned the tanker and its owner in 2019 for helping provide jet fuel in Syria. Saudi Arabia was set to host talks on Russia's war on Ukraine today in the latest flexing of its diplomatic muscle through expectations. In fact, though expectations are mild for what the gathering might achieve. The official Saudi press agency yesterday said the meeting of national security advisors and other officials in the Red Sea coastal city of Jeddah underscores Riyadh's readiness to exert its good offices to contribute to reaching a solution that will result in permanent peace. Invitations were sent to around 30 countries, Russia not among them, according to diplomats familiar with the preparations. It follows Ukraine-organized talks in Copenhagen in June that were designed to be informal and did not yield an official statement. Instead, diplomats said the sessions were intended to engage a range of countries in debates about a path towards peace, notably members of the BRICS bloc, with Russia that have adopted a more neutral stance on the war in contrast to Western powers. Speaking yesterday, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky welcomed the wide range of countries represented in the Jeddah talks, including developing countries, which have been hit hard by the surge in food prices triggered by the war. China's state media released footage of heavily flooded streets in Shaanxi city today, 155 kilometers from the Heilongjiang's capital city Harbin, as floodwaters from Typhoon Doksuri continued to deluge farms and cities in northeast China into the weekend. Drone images from state broadcaster CCTV showed inundated roads in the waterlogged city with vehicles and tall buildings standing partially submerged in brown floodwater across the landscape. As residual rain from Doksuri drifted to northeast China, Heilongjiang province yesterday warned of swelling rivers amid severe weather and even tornadoes as storms pounded cities, including the already waterlogged provincial capital Harbin. The storms and floods triggered power cuts in nearby Shanxi city, where supermarkets were running low on provisions. China has long been aware of urban waterlogging risks, with rapid development creating metropolitan sprawls that cover flood plains with concrete. Extreme weather driven by global warming is making it worse. Intense rains in the wake of Typhoon Khanun lashed the mountainous parts of Taiwan today, unleashing flooding and landslides that blocked roads and stranded hundreds of people as authorities rushed to resume transportation links. Rains have pounded the central Nantou County since Typhoon Khanun brushed past northern Taiwan on Thursday, with more than 1 meter of precipitation soaking the Rainai township since then, shattering roads and triggering landslides and mudslides. The government said across Taiwan, 2 people were missing and more than 460 people were stranded, mostly in remote mountainous areas, and added that there had been no casualties so far. Heavy rain was forecast to continue over the weekend, albeit at a reduced level, as authorities continue to issue warnings of landslides for the mountainous central and southern Taiwan. Cambodian Prime Minister and local residents in Kandal province applauded inauguration of the third ring road encircling parts of the capital, Phnom Penh, on Thursday, noting that the new road will not only reduce traffic jams but also promote trade, investment, logistics and tourism. Cambodia on Thursday inaugurated the ring road, which was built with concessional loan from the Export-Import Bank of China. Hun Sen and Chinese ambassador to Cambodia Wang Wentian presided over the inauguration ceremony held in Kandal province's Kien Svay district with approximately 8,000 participants. The 53-kilometer road, along with 2 river bridges and 2 flyovers, was constructed by the Shanghai Construction Group in a period of 52 months. With 2 lanes for traffic in each direction, the third ring road stretches from the Win-Win Boulevard roundabout in southwestern Phnom Penh to National Road 1 in Kandal province in the east of the capital. Hun Sen said the road was another testament to the fruitful cooperation between Cambodia and China under the frameworks of the Belt and Road Initiative and the community with a shared future. The Cambodia leader added that the thoroughfare was also connected to many key roads, including expressways, so as to not only reduce traffic jams in the city, but also contribute to promoting trade, investment, logistics and tourism. Local people said the road has improved their daily transportation, and they are grateful for Chinese people helping them develop the infrastructure. Before wrapping up, here's a look at the top stories once again. At least 13 Nepali nationals feared missing in a landslide in Kedarnath, Uttarakhand state, India. Foreign Minister Saud requests Uttarakhand Chief Minister to help search and rescue the Nepali nationals. Prime Minister Dahal says a committee led by the Home Secretary will be formed to hold talks with the victims of the Gaur massacre who have been protesting. Assures guilty will be punished. Police arrest Pakistan's former Prime Minister Imran Khan in Lahore after a court sentences him to 3 years in prison for illegally selling state gifts. And Spain thrashed Switzerland 5-1 to reach the FIFA Women's World Cup quarterfinals. Japan also advanced into the last 8, defeating Norway 3-1. That's all for the moment. Thank you for watching. Bye for now.